Alright, Shalom is your Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakwadash. Alright, that's who this world ignorantly calls God and Jesus Christ, in the name of the Holy Spirit, in the ancient Paleo-Hebrew language. Next, double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who teach real well and rule well and oversees the tabernacle of David. And peace and salutations to the elect of Israel scattered across the four corners of the earth. Alright, so today's topic and lesson through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is just kind of going to be on kind of who are you, right? And the reason I emphasize that who are you is because there's a specific people the scriptures talk about who will be discontinued from their heritage, who their whole culture, identity, and self-awareness will be stripped from them for an appointed time and season. So without too much else to say, I want to go ahead and bring out the book of Isaiah, chapter 17, verse 4. Chapter 17, verse 4. Alright, and it reads, "And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever." All right, so we understand that the Most High kind of explained pretty plain, simple, cut and dry, that thou, meaning you, even thyself, meaning yes, even you, shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee. Right? Acknowledging the Most High, he's acknowledging himself. I established who you were. I called you and told you who it is that I made. Right? And it says, "And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not." So he says, I'm going to make you in this land which you don't know. You're unfamiliar with where you are. You're going to end up serving people who are not even there for your good. They're your enemies. They're there for your bad, right? He says, "And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever." So not only is the Most High saying what he's done, he's acknowledging it, but he's saying this is going to be an act that is going to be known in his heart forever. It's going to burn and is not going to go out. It's always going to be known in his heart that he has discontinued you from your heritage, right? So now why is that? And I actually, because as we keep going, I'm going to go to the book of Isaiah, but I want you to remember that this is talking about a specific people that he's causing. Because he said, "You, even yourself." He didn't say all, even every creation. He's speaking specifically to a person and a people, right? So this is the book of Isaiah chapter 1, and I would like to read verse 2 through verse 3. All right, and it reads, "The vision of Isaiah," well, actually, this is verse 1, so the vision of Isaiah, the son of Amos, which he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah. So this is what we understand. This is something that Isaiah seen during the, like it says, concerning Judah and Jerusalem. But it says in verse 2, it says, "Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth, for Yahweh hath spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me." So he's saying, and he's acknowledging, I have, created a children and a heritage, but they have rebelled against me. How is he acknowledging their rebellion? It says in verse 3, "The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel doth not know, my people doth not consider." Right? So the way they are rebelling against the Most High is the fact that they don't even know, nor do they care to know who they are. And the Most High compared Israel to two dumb animals. It said the ox, which is, a dumb animal, and the ass. It says the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib, meaning the ox knows who his master is, and the ass knows where his home is, and where he has to reside. He knows where those places are that he needs. It says, but Israel doth not know, and my people doth not consider. So Israel, not only does he say, are they worse than two dumb animals, but it says they don't even consider the fact that they even have a heritage, a true heritage and a nationality, right? And as we keep going, you'll see that. It'll be more and more evident, through the Spirit. So, and this is clearly only evidently talking about Israel, because as we continue through these precepts, we're going to go back to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2. You're going to see how the Most High completely kind of explains how this is only about his children, and that's who he is talking about, who he's been chastising, correcting, and punishing through the wicked, right? But you'll see that it says, Jeremiah chapter 2 verse 32, it says, can a maid forget her ornaments, or a bride her attire? Yet my people have forgotten me days without number. So it says, can a maid forget her ornaments? Meaning, when a maid goes out to do her job to clean and sweep, can she forget to bring her broom and her wipes and her cleaning? No, she can't, because that's literally everything she needs to be a maid. And then it says, or a bride her attire? Can a bride on her wedding day show up to her wedding and forget to bring her dress, or forget to, book the reservation for her wedding? Absolutely not. Otherwise, she's not a bride, and she's not getting married, right? These things can't happen. But it says, yet my people have forgotten me days without number. So this is showing you how the Most High is showing us how he has called and he's chosen a generation and a people, yet they've rebelled against him. They've not known him, and they don't even care to know, right? They don't even care to know. But the thing is that we're going to get to, which is like the question like I posed in the beginning, the point of this topic is, who are you? Because the thing is, he actually does tell you, even though you might not care to know, you might not care to acknowledge it or move in the ways as the Most High would ordain you to, or would be pleased to see you doing. But, he says it's going to be out there anyway, and he made it known for us. So look, this is the book of Deuteronomy. Let's get it. Straight, the book of Deuteronomy chapter 10, all right, and verse 12, and it reads, and now Israel, right, who the Lord's been speaking on this entire time, it says what? And now Israel, what doth Yahweh thy power require of thee, but to fear Yahweh thy power, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve Yahweh thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul, right? So clearly the heritage that the Most High, the only thing that he's set out and ordained his chosen people to follow, it said plainly clear as day, all they had to do was fear the Most High Yahweh. And what does that mean? It said, actually it expounds on the next verse 13, to keep the commandments of Yahweh and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good. So we understand that not only is he acknowledging what the heritage is that they have to, the charge that they have to keep and that they have to, inherit to live on, it says that it's actually good. It says, which I command thee this day for thy good. So, even when you think about parents in the real world who might not leave an inheritance for their children, because they, depending on the circumstances or situation, they just can't. And even if they do, it's not even always a good inheritance, right? It could be passing down generational curses and things like that. Like, these are things that are happening, but the Most High is saying, not only am I actually giving my people an inheritance, it's actually a good one. And not only is it good, but it's actually everlasting, which is kind of what the promises get into. But kind of staying on a point of showing you who you are through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, right? The children of Israel are the only ones who the Most High set up and ordained to receive his inheritance, to receive his commandments as an inheritance. So, and as we keep going, I'll show you that. This is the book of 2 Kings. Alright, book of 2 Kings. 17. All right, and verse 34. All right, and it reads, "Unto this day they do after the former manners. They fear not Yahweh, neither do they after their statutes, or after their ordinances, or after the law and commandment which Yahweh commanded the children of Jacob, with whom he named Israel." Right, so it's completely acknowledged that even though the children of Israel have a heritage and a culture and an identity that's out there for them to follow, it's clear and plain as day in the scriptures that they have rebelled and have decided not to go after that, but to actually be much less than what the Most High set up for them to be. And I'm going to reread verse 34 again. We're going to continue. It's going to explain exactly how they've been rebelling the Most High and their heritage, right? Even unto this day. Let's read it. Again, verse 34. "Unto this day they do after the former manners." What are the former manners? "They fear not Yahweh, neither do they after their statutes, or after their ordinances, or after the law and commandment which Yahweh commanded the children of Jacob, whom he named Israel." All right. Verse 35, "With whom Yahweh had made a covenant and charged them, saying, Ye shall not fear other gods, nor bow yourselves to them, nor serve them, nor sacrifice to them." Boy, so look, pause. We can pause right here before I even continue. How are they rebelling the Most High and stiff-necked, hard-headedly going the complete opposite direction? It says they are fearing other gods, basically, and they're bowing themselves down to them, and they are serving them and sacrificing to them. How are they doing these things? By, only focusing on living check to check, right? Where's God in that, right? Only focus on, whether it be just focus on school, right? Whether, like I said earlier, just focus on work. Things that basically keep your heart and mind deterred from off of the true work and sincerity of the spirit of the precepts that we have, which is to keep the commandments of the Most High Yahweh and his statutes, which he ordained for us to keep. That's what this entire world and system is set up for, to keep you serving it and not the Most High, right? But look, continuing through verse 36, it expounds on it. "But Yahweh, who brought you up out of the land of Egypt with great power and a stretched out arm, him shall ye fear, and him shall ye worship, and to him shall ye do sacrifice," right? So don't be worrying about waking up every day worrying about how I'm gonna get this, how I'm gonna get that, how I'm gonna do this, who's gonna do this for me, right? All this stuff. All you should be worrying about is serving, sacrificing, and offering up to the Most High Yahweh. That's it. Keeping his law, statutes, and commandments as it was in the old world unto this day, that have been set up and ordained for us to keep. Only us, because nobody else is going to do it but us, because it was set up for us to do. All right. So it says, verse 37, "And the statutes and the ordinances and the law and the commandment which he wrote for you, ye shall observe to do forevermore, and ye shall not fear other gods." So for people who say that the law, statutes, and commandments and the ordinances that were set up before were just set up to show us how we could not keep them, that is a false statement, because the Lord just said, "Ye shall observe to do forevermore, and ye shall not fear other gods." So he said, I set them up not to show you how wrong, not just to show you how wrong you are, but to show you how much right there is and how much life there is in obeying his word and his righteousness, because he's not trying to steer you off into a ditch, into a hole. He actually is trying to steer you into living waters, right? The fountain of waters that's going to sustain you for everlasting life, right? Verse 38, "And the covenant that I have made with you, ye shall not forget," right? "Neither shall ye fear other gods, but Yahweh your power ye shall fear, and he shall deliver you out of the hand of all your enemies." So the type of salvation that the Most High is set up, or the only type of salvation that the Most High has set up for his people to receive, is deliverance out of the hand of their enemies. That is the type of salvation that he's worried about giving them. If that's not the salvation you're looking for, you're not the number that the Most High is actually speaking to right here, because he has a specific outline for his children, how they're supposed to be raised, how they're supposed to live, how they're supposed to please him. It's all set up for them, no one else. So if there's any hindrances, any blocks that's going to deter them away from that, all those things are considered their enemies. Whether it be a thing, whether it be a people, whether it be anything, it's basically, like the scriptures say, a devil, right? Because what is a devil? A deceiver. And like we also know, the devil is basically Satan is the enemy of the Most High, basically not wanting to see the Most High's children dwell in righteousness. That's an enemy, right? So basically, that's everything that's going to change. There will be no more enemies for them, because they will be keeping the righteous ordinances that the Most High set up for them to keep, right? And this is what these last two verses are going to confirm. Verse 40, howbeit they did not hearken, but they did after their former manners, which means what? They continued in those ways of sin, following the world, wanting to stay in serving these other gods, bowing down to these other gods, sacrificing to these other gods. That's what they much more rather seek after. But it says in verse 41, so these nations feared Yahweh and served their graven images, both their children and their children's children, as did their fathers, so do they unto this day. So it shows you how their heritage is still out there, but they're not seeking after it. They're so stiff-necked and hard-headed into only living in the world and pleasing the world and serving the flesh, right? Those are the same manners that they're going after, which is how we know they're not in tune and in sync with their power, the Most High, because otherwise they know who they are. They would know exactly what they have to do, and they would know who it is that the Most High set up to receive the salvation of the kingdom of heaven. All right. I got like a handful of my precepts I want to bring out, kind of showing us in even more detail through the spirit of who these people the Most High said would be discontinued from their heritage, and kind of key things that show us who they are in the world today. Even if you don't believe the scriptures, you can see how these things apply to these people. All right, so Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 2. All right, and it reads, I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. Right? So what is this speaking of? And I'm going to read it again. I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. Now, the way the scriptures speak, whenever it says a woman or her or she, sometimes it doesn't always literally mean a physical, girl, right? And the reason is he actually speaks of the daughter of Zion as woman is because of the beauty and the kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Like he said, a comely and delicate woman, because of how precious the daughter of Zion will be. The daughter of Zion is basically the kingdom of heaven, New Jerusalem, right? Because Zion in the ancient world, the kingdom did not last. It actually fell, but that's the whole point of our faith, that the kingdom of Zion will be raised up again through Yahushua, right? He is that lamb, that doorway back to the kingdom, right? But the reason I'm pulling this is because I actually wanted to show you guys how the kingdom is coming back with the same people it was in the beginning. Ancient Zion was made by the children of Israel, so the new modern Zion will have to be the same lineage, the same seed, the same people. It shows you just the continuation throughout the whole scriptures. The Most High has not been slacking any of his words in any of them, right? So this is the book of Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2. Like I said, something that will help us, that we can see even in the world. If you didn't believe the Bible, you can still hear this and know that it's applying to a certain people, right? This book of Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up, right? So Judah, right, is known as the chief tribe of the 12, because that's the tribe that, you know, the Lord Yahushua came through. And the gates, it says, Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black, right? Judah, they are black unto the ground. And what is the ground? It's talking about the dirt, the soil, right? The deeper you go into the soil, into the earth, you'll see how all it does is gets darker and darker and darker shades of brown, right? That's all it does. And so it says, Judah mourneth, the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground. They're different shades of brown. So that's literally why it's talking about how their complexion would be, how they're looking, and the state that they're in. They're in the state of mourning. Why? Because they are not set back up as the kings of the earth as they should be, right? So that, as you see, these are simple things that if you aren't being spiritually minded, you're not gonna catch, because they're spiritual things. That's the only way you're gonna catch them. So I got 2 more precepts on to bring out, and I can kind of close it out, because it's pretty. The spirit has been strong, you know, recently, kind of the times that we're living in. So these precepts, you know, they're pretty plain. If you're not catching them, you're not gonna get them. They're just not for you, you know. So look, this is the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 1, verse 4. 1 Timothy, chapter 1, verse 4. All right. 1 verse 4. All right, and it reads, "Neither give heed to fables and endless genealogies, which minister questions, rather than godly edification, which is in faith. So do." Right? So we're not supposed to, you know, well, when you come into the truth and hear about how, you know, it's all about the 12 tribes of Israel still, you're not supposed to be worried about, well, I can't figure out who my great grandfather was, so I'm not really 100% sure if I'm from the tribe of Ephraim or if I'm from the tribe of Gad. Don't be concerned with those endless genealogies which minister ungodly questions instead of godly edification, which is in faith, which is what we're supposed to do. Have faith, right? So, but see, this is what I'm saying about how the scriptures are so plain through the spirit. If you're not spiritually minded, you're not going to catch it. That verse just solidified how everything that I just tried to explain to you through these precepts about how through the faith Israel is who's going to inherit the kingdom, and that's the people who don't know that they are Israel, but they're still going to receive the kingdom because they are Israel. This scripture just said, don't be worried about how you can't prove exactly where they came from that they are Israel, but because they received the same knowledge in the spirit of how they're Israel. That's how we're supposed to receive them. That's how we're supposed to be doing this. It's so beautiful, man. It's so beautiful. All right, so lastly, this is my final script I want to bring out. Just through the spirit of the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 16. All right, Romans chapter 8, verse 16. Alright, and it reads, the Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of Yahweh, right? So we have to understand, it's not gonna be any type of saying or anything that's gonna conflict you, that's gonna just, you're just gonna wake up and be like, oh, I got it. No, it's gonna be the Spirit itself that bears witness with your spirit when you hear these words and this truth. That's gonna bear witness with your spirit, and it's gonna confirm within you, the truth of confirm itself within you that we are the children of Yahweh, right? It's only through the Spirit. That's why you can't be carnal minded and spirit and fleshly minded when dealing with these scriptures and trying to understand the pureness of the Spirit, like, because it's only through this pureness of the Spirit, through the Spirit, how you understand it. And how do you receive the Spirit? Keep the commandments, because the only Spirit that's going to tell you to keep the commandments is the Spirit of the commandments, the Holy Spirit. Like, it's so simple. All right, so and if verse 17, and if children, then heirs of Yahweh, and joint heirs with Hamashiach, Yahushua, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together. Right? For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. Right? Which is this pureness of the truth keep the law, statutes, and commandments and the faith that Yahushua came, lived, and died for us so that we can receive the kingdom of heaven back, to basically allowing us to get back to serving the Most High Yahweh in righteousness, the way it was ordained to for us in the beginning. That is the only charge and inheritance that Israel is supposed to receive at all. Like, you're not supposed to be out here in the world worried about, the playoffs or, the Super Bowl, or like, those shouldn't be the climaxes of your day or your life. They should not be. And if they are, you're going to be sadly mistaken when it comes to that final test in the end, and you come to weigh out, was this worth it? Was this worth it? You're going to see how much less you weigh on the scale compared to what was actually worth it. It's gonna be a very sad day for you in that day if that's the only things that you're seeking after in this time. All right, so with that being said, I'd like to give Kol Halal Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem HaKakodash. Right, like I said, peace and salutations to the elect of Israel scattered across the four corners of the earth. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that teach real well and rule well through the Spirit and oversees the tabernacle of David. And Kwame Yasharallah, Shalom.